All right, so today's Friday, and just so you know, it's the day before Eric's birthday, and I just want to mention a couple things for the sports world. As there's two players, longtime players, stars that are gonna retire pretty soon. And as you know, tonight is the last regular season game for the Dodgers, and I think it's also the last regular season game for the MLB. I think for most teams, because I know around this time the playoffs are already going to start. But or I don't know. Like I gotta check the calendar so to make sure. But I know the playoffs are usually starting in October, or I think it's late September. I could be wrong. It is probably late September. So yeah, Clayton Kershaw, longtime Dodger, spent all 18 seasons with the Dodgers. One team. That is true loyalty. Look at Dirk Nowitzki. Spent, I don't know when he came in to the Mavs. I'm probably going to say like 2000 or 2001, something like that. But I know he spent almost, I don't know if it's almost 20 or... He also spent a long time with the Mavs, and that's also true loyalty. Tim Duncan, same thing. About well over a decade with the Spurs. Obviously, Kobe, 20 seasons with the Lakers, and especially having two different jersey numbers. Spent all 20 seasons in one team, and that's true loyalty right there. And Clayton Kershaw is another perfect example. Congratulations to him. I know at one point that he had went through something that a lot of us fans did not appreciate, as far as I forgot exactly what happened, and I don't know what the cause was, but but in the end, ultimately, he's still he was still a Dodger for life, and going in and just having won a couple championships, including one just last year. So congrats to Clayton Kershaw, and also another player from the NHL. I don't really follow the NHL that much, but even when it comes to the LA Kings, I know I got a couple family members that follow the Kings more closely than I do. But I'm not really into hockey like that. I'm not really into the NHL like that. But another star player that is from the LA Kings is going to retire as well. Kopitar. Yeah, Anze Kopitar. Yeah. So I just thought I'd briefly mention those. And tonight, for the Dodgers' sake, it's Clayton Kershaw's final game as a Dodger before he retires. All right. So yeah, I don't know too much of my MLB history. The only sports I do follow closely, well, actually one sport that I follow very closely is the NBA. Watched the NBA for a long time, since 2000, when the Lakers won their first title with Shaq and Kobe. And since then, I started to gradually get into the NBA and start getting to it more. Able to compare the difference in eras. Listening to a lot of these independent sports guys on here. Just giving their takes and giving me some valuable information when it comes to the NBA. And as far as players are and what the rules are, especially the rule changes, and me being able to give strong intellectual opinions, if you want to call it. Whether I'm wrong or right, there's just really no right and wrong when it comes to opinion. But yeah, just the NBA is what I follow closely. The NFL, I'm not really I follow it, but I am not a casual follower like that. When it comes to the playoffs, that's when I start getting into it more. But I mean, I'll be watching here and there because every Sunday is, the NFL Red Zone. There's a whole ton of games going on. I mean, yeah, I root for the Bengals and the Raiders, even though Raiders, we'll see. I know they choked the last game, but typical haters. I always like to make fun. I always tell my the receptionist that every time the Raiders lose, I call them the haters. But when they win, they're the Raiders. Anyways, I don't want to keep rambling off about sports. I know the sports season is just officially here, and it's a very exciting time, right? So, let me just get into this topic right here, and as you know, there's gonna be some life-changing moves that's gonna be starting. Not this weekend, but going into the next weekend. It's gonna be the Friday from today. So next Friday, I'm gonna see some major changes going forward. And I'm talking about life-changing moves. Yes. And this is supposed to be a good thing. This is actually a good thing for me. It's serving as a positive in that for me and what transpired this past weekend and the last even the last couple of weeks. I think this life-changing move is really going to help a whole lot because for me, family's sake, for outside life and what we've been having to deal with in our current home life, we as a whole are going to start seeing better things ahead, and we're about to see things get better along the road and in the long run. Not necessarily at the start, but in the long run, as the days go, with the start of the life-changing moves, that things are gonna get better along the road. And hell, October's coming already. I just barely started to continue doing my special Halloween project late last night, and it's still a long ways to go. But for me, as it pertains to this life-changing move, especially with my role right now, I think my role is going to be significantly relieved. And what I mean by that is, not that I'm going to be very loose about it to where I'm not really going to do anything very much and spending time on my phone a whole lot, but the way I see it is, yes, my role is going to be significantly relieved to where I don't have to be constantly, helping out, to where I'm going to be doing a whole lot of my family duties as far as what their usual responsibilities are, to where a lot of times I got to take over. Now I got a couple relatives that are going to be, eventually assisting, as far as our needs to better, to better our home life, as far as like the improvements. You know what I'm saying? So look, to me, I definitely see this as a positive, and I know I just gotta hang in there for at least one more week, and by then, I think I'm gonna start to feel more relieved in that, even my role is going to be significantly relieved, to the point where, you know, everything is gonna get it's gonna get better in the long run. So right now, I mean that's something to. I thought it was originally gonna be next year, but thank God for it happening sooner. That I'm finally seeing some. You know, I may just finally, and I've been saying that I know I said in my past videos that I may not be able to see the light for a while, or just, I don't know, I might have said not at all. But in this case, after what I just mentioned here, I think I may just finally see the light after all. I'm finally gonna see some light right ahead of me, because I have not been able to see light for a long time, especially with all the efforts that I have given. You know, some successful efforts that I've been making, to where I thought I would deserve a 3-week break that got canceled. And now, after what's transpired this past couple of weeks, and especially this past weekend, you know, for the most part, I'm finally gonna see the light. Yes. So I'm proudly saying it. You know, I'm finally gonna smile, but right now there's still a lot of things to take care of. I know some days just feel a lot longer, especially the weekends, right? But for the most part, you know, I got something positive to think about, you know, as I look ahead into the next weekend. And so in the meantime, I gotta deal with what I gotta deal with. But for the most part, I think I'm about to see some light ahead of me. Now, of course, as I'm about to head to my dump, yes, I know I got another. I had another. What do you call it? I had another phone interview last Monday, and I thought it was smooth for the most part, except I did mess up on the strengths and weaknesses part. So I gotta, you know, with what I gotta go with the guideline with my therapist, as he was trying to help me better myself on when it comes to doing interviews, right? So yeah, I just had a response, and you know, the interviewer was kind enough to even respond to me, and you know, she even said like, hey, well, you know, it was great, your background was impressive, your qualifications and background was impressive, but we decided to select a candidate that's closely matched our need. I've gotten several of these emails lately. It's not just her. Even in my past, I think I got one the other day where it basically said the same thing. You know, your background is impressive, but we decided to pursue these other candidates who closely match our needs. So what does this tell you? I told you, man. It's the fact that I barely have a quarter of graphic design experience, and being here in my 13th year, for Christ's sake, I barely have enough. And look, part of it is on me that I should have left a long time ago, and the best chance I had was in 2022. But look, here I am still. You know what I'm saying? Here I am. So, look, I know I've been applying to a bunch of other like non-graphic design jobs, but come on, man. Like, at this point, I'm just tired of just applying for graphic design, and with the resume I have, it's just let's just be honest, it's not even enough to meet all their qualifications. So I gotta self-teach. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So at this point, I gotta look for something else, and I've been doing that. I got one from supply administrator, and I got rejected for that. But I mean, based on what I got from ChatGPT, is it like, I mean, look, man, This is where I'm just totally against AI as far as you know, the information that you're trying to get, because I'm already said it. It ain't always accurate of as far as the information they give you. So I don't know, man. This is the biggest issue that I've been having for a long time, and I'm sorry. Like, the longer I'm in this dump, it's why a lot of bad things continue happening to me. And you know, it's just bad things left and right, and especially with what transpired these past couple of weeks. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I gotta focus on what I gotta focus on. All right. So peace out, y'all.